1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. 8. 8. 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey! Let's have church. Let's have church. Let's have church. Ha! Don't get nothing on you.
Beep, beep, toot, toot. Hey, good people. It's your Alabama church girl here. First, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. To all the leaders, saints, and friends, welcome, 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 welcome on in. It's time for a little celebration on this evening. I was just a tad bit late because I had a girlfriend dropping off some lovely gifts to the girl. But guess what? Tonight, in celebration of the birthday, guess who I have in the building with me? Another friend, darling. Another friend. Welcome back, Ashton. Yes, you've been missed. And so lovely to have my friend back with me. We're here to discuss Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 11. Yes, Nell-Raiser. All right. So I just want to say, I told y'all so.
Ray, you said it. You sure said it.
She might not have a lot of personality, but she got a whole lot of story.
Yes. She may be boring, but she got the drama.
Yes. She might be slow talking.
Yeah.
But this storyline is fast walking.
Hey. My God today.
My God today. Oh, Kevin says, happy birthday and hi, Ashton.
What's up, Kevin?
So thank you. Actually, to be very transparent, my birthday is Friday, July 19th. I am a Cancer queen. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But I'm celebrating all month long.
As you should.
Yes, we always celebrate the entire month of July. Mm-hmm. And not only that, if you're feeling in the gift giving, you are definitely welcome to, just bless that Cash App down. Or, guess what else you can do? You can hit that super chat. Yes, you can. But anywho, back to this episode. Ashton, what's your first out of all the scenes? Okay, we had Nell and her family. Yes. We had Trish and her situation. Mm-hmm. We had Marceau and Marquise meeting up.
My favorite scene, by the way. Mm-hmm.
And we also had Nell and Mel meeting up.
Yes.
All right, so from out of all four of those scenes, you said this one right here with Maurice, Marceau.
Yes, the one on the screen.
Yes, it was my favorite too.
It did it for me, yeah.
All right, so which one had you most upset, frustrated, angry?
I think I was more frustrated. I wouldn't say upset or angry. I was frustrated with Nell in the counseling scene with the kids. But then she kind of, reversed it for me and starting to take it in and listen. But I think I was more frustrated with her because she just was refusing to.
She was giving them hell, baby.
She was giving them hell. It's the perfect title for the episode. Nell-Raiser, yes. She was on 10.
Yes. Kevin says, I wanted to initially say happy pre-birthday. Thank you so very much, Kevin. And he also says that he agrees with you, Ashton.
Kevin, we usually on the same page.
Yeah. So for me, I think the most frustrating scene was with Tricia and her husband.
Ex-husband, yeah.
Marquis.
Well, not ex.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So which scene had you more emotional?
Again, I would have to say Marceau and what's his name? Marquise?
Marquise. Yeah,
Marquise.
it's too many Mars on here.
Yeah, ain't it too many Mars? They need to go some more casting.
Good evening, all. Hey, Ashton.
Hey.
Pachino's here.
I just feel like the people missed me.
Yes. I think Machino has asked for you a couple times.
I am back. All is well.
Yeah.
Water is restored in the world.
You look all refreshed and revived and stuff. Okay. My feeling good over there.
But I think I was more emotional with Marceau having that real talk, man-to-man conversation with Marquise and telling him exactly what he needed to hear and exactly what he did so he could hurry up and fix it with them kids. I feel like that scene all around was I feel like the best thing they produced in all 11 episodes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think for me, what had me most emotional was the scene with Nell and Dr. Francis and her kids. That got me emotional. Yeah, we're gonna get to it.
Okay.
I'll tell you the whys. But yeah, I almost was moved to tears in that scene.
Okay.
And the scene that had you most triggered out of the four?
Triggered. I'm gonna have to say the scene with Trish and her husband.
But why did it have you triggered?
I just I can't put my finger on him.
Trifling, no good.
And a liar, and I'm triggered by liars.
Let me put up my allegedly better. Trifling, no good.
No good liar. Low down liar.
Down low.
A liar would trigger me in any situation because I just feel like the story that he was telling Marceau wasn't adding up when he got in front of her.
You didn't hear me, did you?
What you said?
I said trifling, no good, down low.
Hey. You heard what he said he moved to.
Yeah, I heard. I also was hearing Trish seemed to be the parent speaking to her extra dependent.
Her child, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
very immature. Very immature. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you got to be an immature man to allow whatever situation your spouse has to run you out of the house from your kids.
All right, so the scene that had me most triggered was this one right here with Marceau and Marquise. Okay. Kevin says the scene with Marceau and Marquise. Yes, that's the one that had me triggered. Right message, wrong messenger. At this point, Marceau for me was Bishop Marceau.
I think he was preaching too.
I was like, you better preach. I was giving the whole Tamar Braxton with the tambourine. I was doing all of that. It had me triggered.
Yeah.
I wanted to scream at the TV watching that scene. First of all, Marceau, you did it.
I think so. That. He delivered that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And that's, the reason why I always say that I like to see these scenes with all the guys together, because I get an inside peek of how y'all speak to one another.
Yeah.
Because I know how we speak about y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But
is there any accountability?
Thank you.
When y'all speak.
Yeah. And this was a scene of accountability. I love the fact that Marceau wasn't letting up on him. You could tell that Marceau was disgusted with him from the moment he sat down. He was like, hey, you looking all fresh and clean, like cleanliness was next to godliness, but let me get into you. Let me tell you a new one open, and I was loving it. But it
Good
had
to see you, but listen here.
yes.
Mhm.
And yeah, okay. So Kevin also says Marcel pretty much told on himself when talking to Marquise. You know what? At that point, though, Kevin, I wasn't focused on Marcel's indiscretions because even though it hasn't been proven, first of all.
Yeah.
And secondly, it feels like I said, we've been saying all season long. It feels like him and hey, I am redeemed. Welcome. It feels like him and Tricia have come to an agreement about their relationship. So, they they may have changed up their marriage contract. They may have had this all along, and it ain't none of our business. And
they
I'm
probably
okay
didn't want
with
it to be our business. That's why they were going to bat for it so bad. They didn't want it to be our business, and that's fine. Because however you need to keep your marriage trucking, that hey,
that's your business.
Got nothing to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and even with him, as you say, Kevin, telling on himself, I'm okay with it because one thing that I feel as a community we need to always understand is that when we bring these kids into this world, we don't get to walk away from that
At all.
No, ever. And then it's always it feels as if the community, these are culture conversations, y'all drop a like on this conversation please and thank you. But it feels as if the community has always, or has majority of the time, excused men who walk away from their commitment to their children.
Yes.
And punish women who are there diligently staying.
Yes.
She is imprisoned. It's almost a prison sentence to motherhood, and you can't have nothing else. You don't need no other man. And now we're gonna talk about you because now you're a baby mama. Now you the problem. You the reason these children are dysfunctional because they have to grow up in a single motherhood. But who made her a single mother?
Yeah. Imagine blaming the single mother
for
and not
being
knowing what made her. Yeah.
I Am Redeemed said, I love that scene too. He took it like a man, though. I agree with the first sentence. I don't know about the second. Because when he got down to the conversation with Tricia, he tried to boss up. He tried to put a little vibrato on the conversation then, and I ain't like that. So Pacino says Marceau invited speculation into his marriage arrangement with a comment about male and tail. Do you mean in this episode? Because it felt to me as though the producer probably asked him to analyze, compare, and contrast, and he gave the answer. That's the way it felt. But tell me how you see it. Did you see it like that, Ashton?
Yeah, it seemed like he was asking her a question. To me, I didn't take it how she saw it.
Kevin says it merely confirms Marceau has gaslighted the viewing audience since season 1. Maybe so, but Kevin also agrees with you, Pacino. But let me tell you something. The fact that he was no holds bar with Marquise. You want to do the breakdown for me because I'm the 8-man corner.
And I want to say this first though. I'm not going to argue that it wasn't him. It wasn't confirming that he gaslit the viewing audience. I'm not going to argue anything y'all basically said because when I watched that scene, I was in that moment. And in that moment, that's what that man needed to hear. I don't care if it came from Wanda. I was expecting you to say Martell. I need them to feel it. I don't care if it came from Wanda. Those words that he gave that man need to be said.
Oh, Pacino, you got to get one of these. Yes, you better preach, girl. You better.
Here's low-hanging fruit, the lowest of the low. Yes.
Yes. Oh, Marquise is the definition of deflection. Yes. Yes. You know what I thought about? This is why it triggered me so bad. Because first of all, I have to apologize to Tricia.
Yeah.
I gotta give her all the apologies in the most sincere and humblest manner.
For
because I thought Tricia was just out here doing her thing on somebody that, you know, possibly wanted to keep their family. Yes, redeemed.
Yes, Miss Wanda. I need y'all to feel what I'm saying. I don't care if Miss Wanda stepped in and gave that man those words. Those words were needed.
But he I thought that Tricia was out here doing her thing with somebody who wanted their family.
And just threw hers away.
Right. I thought that maybe that was the reason why they weren't divorced, why no paperwork had been established, is because this is somebody that want their family, and you out here doing your thing, and then you tipping and dipping. You got a side piece and you got a sneaky link, all of them on the same show. Girl, what you doing, girl? I'm over here just dragging the girl bad, like questioning all her cootie cat. Here it goes. We come and see that she married to a pussy boy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I do mean boy. When I heard him talking, he sounded like these red pill podcasters to me, who have all the blame and all the smoke for the woman, but have no accountability for themselves. He even said that he was intimidated by the muscle man.
And imagine being a grown man sitting up calling the man that's raising your kids muscle man.
The muscle man. So clearly you are a boy. You are because even if, you know, his looks made you feel away, the fact that you got a contract with this lady, you got lifelong commitment called kids with this lady, should have no intimidation in that relationship. He is who he is. But what I'm never going to do is step out of my place to give somebody else who I know is hanging in the balance an opportunity. I'm never going to do that. You're going to have to push me over. You're going to have to knock me out. I'm never going to just walk away. So yeah, I was triggered. If you cannot tell, I'm sorry for the fast talking, but that's the way it triggered me. I was in burst.
You were really triggered. I think I was triggered more by his response to Marceau at first. Like he wasn't even making sense. Like you can't be saying that stuff out your mouth
at all. And that's the thing though, with these red pill dudes, they don't make sense. They double talk. And the Bible says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So ain't nothing I can do with you, because I can't do instability. When it comes to raising a child, that's the one thing that the child needs the most is stability.
My God, today.
Hallelujah. So is it a throuple or is it an entanglement?
I don't think it's an entanglement. I feel like the only person that's entanglement is Mr. Marquez tangled up in his mind, his thoughts, and his sexuality.
Ooh, you better preach.
I don't think nobody tangled.
Pacino said that she made no assumptions about Tricia. Well, I'm glad you didn't, but I did. I'm sorry. I was over here.
You know, usually I don't. I try to take people at face value. I try to see who they are. But I thought she was a little sneaky. I ain't gonna lie.
Now I still think she's sneaky because this is Martell stuff.
Child, he just be lying. I don't even believe it. I need to see the camera.
I don't know. Something was in the water. Something in the milk ain't clean. So Pacino says, I do question why neither party started the divorce proceedings. Yes. Pacino, I am redeemed says, preach and teach.
Yes, ma'am. Each one teach one.
Amen. Ashton in the amen corner said, Kevin in the A corner, amen. Can I talk? Amen corner saying 100%.
You feel me, Kevin?
Yes, Tricia is still sneaky. Yeah, I do think she still got some sneaky.
And you know what it is? It's something about the way she talk that let me know she's sneaky. It's something about the way that voice don't never leave that certain octave. Look, girl, yeah, you sit back a lot. You sit back in the cuts a lot. Yeah, you are sneaky.
Calculated. We're going to get to that with the conversation between her and the husband. But yeah, this scene. All right, so we don't know I don't think it's a throuple or an entanglement right now. No. Now, her and Martell might be an entanglement, but I definitely don't think it's a throuple. I think that this is a man who left his family and his wife moved on.
Yes, and then I feel like it's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's that cut. That is cookie cut at this point. It's that simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Because here's where he got confused. He says to Marceau that he left because he couldn't handle Ken being a father to his kids.
Yes.
Wait a minute now. You then go on to try to qualify this by saying that Tricia was already, y'all, the way he made it the way he presented it, they were together.
Mm-hmm.
She was going through with her family.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't there for her.
Because he probably was with his boyfriend.
Yeah, because he loves her, has love, agape love, but he's not in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know how to handle her losing so many relatives. Now she lost her mother. 6 months later, she lost her father.
Mm-hmm.
And then she dealt with her sister needing a heart transplant.
Yes.
That is a whole hell of a lot. I just lost one parent, and I know where my emotions were. So I can just only imagine.
And you could probably confidently say that you're probably still grieving her today, right?
Yes.
So just imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 parents within that short period of time. Because you don't get over it. There are stages of grief that you go through. So just
you just learn to live with it. You never get over it.
No, let me tell you something. Somebody asked me, I ran into somebody that was an acquaintance from years ago. And they were just, hey, good to see you, this and that. How your parents doing? How your mama? And I was like, oh, yeah. It was like somebody just cut me right there because they didn't know. So anywho, you are in the first stage of grief, and the first stage of grief for me was anger. I was very angry, and for me, Tricia expressed how she started going to the gym to get over her feelings. And then you get hit with losing another parent. Yeah. Now you double time on that. And you don't have nobody at home that you can go and release to. Yep. You don't have nobody. You can't go to your other siblings. They're grieving too.
So you can't go dump it on them.
No. And then, it's only so much you're going to share with your friends because they live in their life. They ain't trying to be pulled down to where you are. So who do you turn to? Well, I could go to counseling, but now my time is consumed because my husband has left the house and left me with my kids. And now my time is consumed with my kids.
Now I'm grieving and I'm still being a mother to 2.
Yes. She said she had to pick up and start paying the way for the kids because he wasn't even paying no bills no more. You left everything. Pacino says, question mark. I thought Trish and Mar were split before Ken came on the scene. Yes, Pacino, you are absolutely right. But then he tried to pinpoint it as if they were not.
He tried to imply that she was cheating on him.
Yes. And Marceau even asked him that. So she was cheating. He was like, well, I can't confirm or deny.
But if that lady was cheating on you, you know for a fact you caught her cheating on you, you wouldn't be sitting there saying you can't confirm deny. You will be laying her thin. You will be giving us what we thought we was going to get because we thought that was her story and it is not.
Right.
So, and then when he went and sat down with her, his whole tune changed because he knew it was a lie.
Exactly. He had all this bravado talking something. Well, he told me to go talk to my B. That ain't what you told Marceau. He said, go talk to your girl. And Ken don't even sound like the type that'll step to you.
No, he for one, he worshiped that woman, and you could tell that.
And the husband even said that. He said he know Ken ain't going nowhere because he worshiped the ground that Trish walked on. I said, because I had painted him a fool. About that good grip.
I had painted him a fool before we got this part of the story. I had painted Ken a fool. You gotta be a fool. What we said is the grip wanted. He couldn't get no more. Mhm. But no, now it's making sense.
Yes. And if she plays her cards right, girl, you won big time.
For sure.
Cause, oh, honey, when they showed that picture of Ken at the end, I said, "Good God Almighty!" I started dancing like Fantasia.
He probably did too.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, so I Am Redeemed says, how do you leave your wife to suffer alone? I want to hear more about why he left them. That grief probably prevented Trish from running to the courthouse to get out of the marriage. You are probably right. You are probably right. Because when you're consumed with just trying to survive and manage the day to day, you don't really have the time to put an extra burden on your plate. I please understand. I know this all too well. And then, especially when they're not complying, when they're really giving you hell, because she said they had ups and downs. Sometimes they were friendly and sometimes they were not. I've been through it.
Mm-hmm.
Whoo, Jesus, I told you I was triggered, y'all. Please just overlook my emotions right now. Yes, I know how to act. I promise you I do. Pacino's rule says he pulled a Martell. Right. He was even worse than Martell, in my opinion. What you think?
Birds of a feather. Birds of a feather. Mm-hmm. Deflection here.
Right,
Wow.
Pacino, I can only imagine what Ken's DMs look like. Now, if she don't straighten out this Martell situation, girl, that man is on the market. And he is the prime rib on the market. My God. My God, today. In the words of my good girlfriend Candace. So Marceau says, no, so he's on this trip. Marquise is on this trip trying to blame Tricia. She blaming Tricia for how the daughter feel. He blaming Tricia for the fact that he left. And Marceau said, and then he gonna say, Tricia erased 6 years of his daughter's life because he left. What? See how backwards you sound?
And that's why I feel like Marceau had to, when he started talking like that, Marceau had to go ahead and lay it down on him. No, man.
He said that his daughter stopped telling him that he loves him.
And tried to blame Trish, make it seem like Trish was telling her not to say it.
Right. So Marceau said, so is your daughter wrong for that? Because right. You left. And he was like, well, I didn't leave them. Yes, you did. When you left the house, you left them kids.
That's absolutely what you did.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't leave the house.
He was trying to make it seem like he just left the woman. Okay, that's what you think.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this: if he would have left just the house and got another house in that city, then I could say he didn't leave the kids. He just left the woman. But you left the state, sir. You didn't just leave the city, you left the state. You left the house, you left the city, and you left the state. You left those kids.
How could they not say you left us when you used to bring me to school every morning and now you're not there?
Now I don't see you.
Where am I? You gone.
But I do know is I got this man that's in love with my mama. So he falling in love with me and my brother too. And he being the dad that I thought I had.
Right. Let me tell you something. And that's another thing. Trish, girl, I will say this. After I got divorced, I really had kind of a cold heart. I wasn't trying to look for nothing. I had me a roster. And I go to brunch, one person, go to dinner with somebody else. Is one person that I enjoy reading books and being nerdy with. You know, it was just like that. And that was all it was. I wasn't trying to have nobody. Then Mr. Stample comes along. And Mr. Stample started, well, first of all, he had already told me he was paying attention to the things that I was sharing to see where my heart lies. Mr. Stample, the reason and the way I knew that I needed to pay closer attention to him and delete them roster is because he started showing me the love for my child.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where my heart is. I don't love nothing else in this world more than I love my child.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to get to me, you got to go through him.
Have to.
Yeah. And then what, I wasn't even trying to introduce him to my child. I wasn't. He ain't even met the boy. And then AJ had a fundraiser for an AAU team or something like that. And Mr. Stamper goes out and raises thousands of dollars. I said, "Oh, let me delete this roster because
It's the effort for my child. For me, it's the effort you
serious.
spend for my child.
Right? He did not have to do that.
You have to, yeah.
You know, it's plenty of men that'll go spend thousands on your bag and forget your child and won't even care. Won't even ask, "Do I need to bring something home for the kid to eat?" You know, it's plenty of men. So when he starts stepping in, Ken, as a father figure to the children, oh man, your family, you ain't got no family no more. They're the family. And that's what you upset with, is that you saw him being the father that you couldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
So step out of the way. And just like Marceau said, tell him thank you. It's just that simple. Don't try to raise no hell, because then your kids really gonna hate you.
Yeah. Because why you hate him, Daddy? He
Yeah.
just did our daddy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And if you can come to grips with that, and as Marceau said, you were being a bit delusional. If you would come out of your state of delusion and just realize, hey, it was best that I step back and allow someone else who has the skills to be the father to be there for my children. And I'm going to be the co-parent and move accordingly. Then everything will be glory, glory, hallelujah.
But see, and I like how Marceau met him where he was with it, because he said he didn't want Ken to be a daddy to his daughter, and he didn't need him to do nothing for his daughter. And Marceau said, so when your daughter come home and had a bad day, you don't want him to console your daughter? No, man, he don't need to be hugging my daughter. Okay, so when she come home crying, you want him to look down there and say, call your daddy? No, I don't want that either. What do you want?
Because you can't articulate it. You can't articulate it. And just like Pacino says, Marquez looks and sounds like an adolescent.
Very
And
immature.
that's
Very
why I felt. Say it again.
Very childish. Very immature. Very childish.
Very, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever state of mind he was in when they got married at 18, high school sweethearts, it sounds like the same state of mind that he's in right now.
He's for sure still that high school boy that she met and started dating, because they've been together for a long time, right? They definitely high school sweethearts. Yeah, he's still that guy.
So Marceau tells him, and this right here was when we needed to pass the collection plate. When Marceau says, you left your kids. He said, this, I'm sure this man paying bills. He's buying stuff for your kids. You left them. And he said, anything that you allow, what did I say? You allow to get between you and your kids is more important to you than your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I need every man in America that got a baby mama, an ex-wife, someone that you have impregnated. I need you to take note. Hang this statement up on your wall, put it in your mirror. Anything that you allow to come between you and your kids, even if it's the woman, it's more important to you than your kids. Because even a frustration with the woman shouldn't allow you to get between you and your kids. And that's why I hate when men say that she won't let me. No, ain't no let. Because I be good, God doggone. Ain't nobody gonna keep me from mine. Nobody. Hell could not keep me from my child. So if I feel that way as quote unquote the weaker vessel, the woman, then you as the man, oh, you so weak you can't push past that. All right. Anywho, I'm gonna get up off of it because Marceau preached the sermon. I ain't gotta preach no more. Huh?
He did. Marcel was disgusted at that man as a man.
Yes. Yes. And I appreciated that disgust because it lets me know that there are some men, even as misogynistic as Marceau can be,
Yeah, because he ain't perfect either.
no, there are some men that will actually hold other men accountable. There are some men that will say, no, man, you ain't in the man club acting like that.
No, you ain't in the father club.
No.
You can't be a father.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You can't hang with us.
No.
He doesn't even go here.
Yeah. You definitely can't sit with us over here, buddy. Sorry.
Mm-mm. All right, so we move forward. Now, at the beginning of the episode, we got this snippet, this reminder that Nell had told her kids that she didn't need counseling.
Yes.
Well, darling, we go over to Melody's house. And I just want you to take a little close look at these images because when stress weighs down on you, it weighs down on everything. You feel different, you look different,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not pleasant. Nell is a very beautiful woman. Both of them, both Mel and Nell.
Yes, definitely two gorgeous women. Yeah.
Right. But you could definitely see in Nell's face that there is some stress there, some stress happening there.
Yes.
And I was concerned when she said that she didn't pass her physical.
Yeah.
Nell needed therapy the most. Yes, she did.
does.
She does. And I think first of all, let's give it up for Dr. Francis. We've been begging for him to come back.
They gonna use Dr. Francis services. Everyone he offer.
Listen, Dr. Francis needs to have his own separate contract with OWN Network. I want to go book an appointment. I need to see Dr. Francis and I need to see Tricia because both of them got something I want. Listen, Tricia,
You know, we're talking about Ken's picture. Did you see Tricia's picture when they posted
yes,
hers?
yes, I got both of them.
Yeah.
I got both of them. But I'm gonna tell you, I used to really lift and do all the things. And after you stop, that the muscle starts to get soft and mushy. That's where I am, Tricia. Can you help me get back? Everything jiggling now. Can you help me get back? I'm sorry, running. I'm gonna cut all the extras off, all the trimmings off.
Just get me back.
Yes, get me back, girl. Get me back. But Nell was letting Melody know she was upset. She was frustrated. Now, what I did like about this scene, tell me how you felt, because I know people think I hate Melody, but I don't.
I feel like Melanie was being a good friend and not being a yes ma'am to Nell. She was telling her that she understands where her kids coming from because Nell can lose her emotional intelligence sometimes, especially when it comes to her kids. And I don't think she have a measure. Sometimes she can fly off. So I appreciate Melanie telling her, well, friend, they ain't all the way wrong. And I like the way she presented the therapy to her because therapy is taboo when it comes to the Black community. And I feel like Mel wrapped it up in a way to educate her on that aspect. And then to ease it in to say, friend, it's fine to go. Maybe it'll unlock some other stuff, or maybe, it could be helpful. I like the way that she packaged that up and sold it to Nell.
I did too. And I titled this scene "The Bitter Pill."
Mm-hmm.
It's the bitter pill for Nell to swallow. And then I like the fact that Melody had the lemons out there, because the lemons are the sour, bitter. But sometimes it can be refreshing.
Yes.
And I think that's what Nell needed at that moment. I don't know if production had her put that together, but I felt like that was just like, so yeah. You did that. um, Kevin says Nell was just stubborn. Period. Absolutely.
Ain't was. Nell is stubborn.
Absolutely. I don't have a whole lot to say on the scene because it was really just a passer through.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I didn't talk to my family. They didn't upset me. Let me go, vent to my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that was, and you said it perfectly that, it really did feel like a girlfriend scene. And we've seen Melody go and get advice from Nell in the
Yes.
past. And now here she was able to give advice
Give it
to
back.
Nell.
Yeah. She was able to
Yeah.
give it back to a friend. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a good friendly exchange. And then I also like the fact that in this scene, she called her Miss Nell again.
Yes.
Because, we're in the South and we put
Mhm.
respect on that name.
You my friend, but you still Miss Nell. Yeah.
Yes. Pacino says Nell prides herself on a role as a mentor. She doesn't see herself as someone who needs therapy. Yes. And that's something I want to bounce back. Friend, we missed you, but you missed so much conversation. But we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago about the difference in the generations of women. We talked about that scene with Stormy and her mom.
Yes.
And my question for that scene is, do Southern mothers love their daughters? And I will say right. All right. I love this agreement in the comment section. Y'all please hit that like button. So even with that, this scene where we move forward to with Nell and her kids and Dr. Francis, the whole family getting together, it made me reflect back to that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't feel that Nell loves her daughters or her adult children, because she very much so does.
You can tell, yes.
Yes, but on the lines of those older generations, those boomers, I feel that they probably were raised with such a stern hand from mothers and probably fathers as well, that's what they know to give back.
That's all they have to give back.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have us Gen Xers and millennials who are like, no, we ain't doing that. Stop. We ain't got to do that. We stop.
Yeah, we're gonna love on ours.
Yes. So and I felt like that's where Nell is stuck. So that was another reason why it was good to see her with, I think Melody falls in the millennial category. It was good to see those two generations. And that's also another reason why it's good to have different generations in friend groups.
Yes.
Like you and I.
It's really important. And I like the fact that the housewives try to use that formula where they'll have a mature woman in almost every group that they have. It's always one or two mature women in the group, along with probably a middle tier woman and some young ones mixed in. I think it's very important to have that different life experience.
Right. Diversity and inclusion. Yes. We believe in DEI.
We do.
So Pacino says, to me, the fundamental problem is that Nell and Chris are not on the same page.
And you know what, Pacino? Chris can't have a page because it's Nell's book. Okay, Chris is trying to survive.
You gotta preach.
Chris can't have a page. So Chris, it's her page. He might be over there in the corner. So it might not seem that he on the same page with her because he's scared to rebuttal anything that she's saying. Nell runs that family. She is the head of that family. Chris may be the neck.
Facts.
She runs that family.
She does.
So I don't think they'll probably ever truly be on the same page because the page is hers.
It is. And we've seen that. We've seen evidence of that in the previous episodes. Whenever she asked about that closet.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, whatever you need, I'm gonna get some people.
I got it. Whatever. No problems. That's the energy Chris gives me. I don't want no problems.
Then we see him go over to Martell's house and check him about, don't be, I ain't calling my wife no side
Hey,
piece.
I don't want no problems.
And then when she came down to his office and she said, we need to have a family meeting because this is messing with my mental health. And he said, what?
Huh?
What did he say? He said, I don't want
no problems. And look, and look, when he said, well, we need to cook, she said, well, I ain't cooking that. He said, okay, we'll figure it out because I won't. No problem. Okay, this is what we want to get in the way. Just not want to get in the way.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I love them. Ashton, I love them.
I love them too.
There are rumors that the family might have a spinoff coming.
I would be interested in seeing them. I really would.
I really would.
I like her kids because that one daughter, the one who actually her niece, she speaks her mind. She speaks well. I would love her son, her eldest son. He articulated himself very well. I would love to see the family show. I would love to see stuff from him.
I would. I definitely would. And then to me, it feels like even though it's been 30 years, these two are still madly in love.
They still madly in love with each other.
Like when Nell jumped in his arms at that birthday party and put her legs around his hips, I said, oh.
She still love her man, and her man still love her. I love how she Fletcher gonna do it.
Yeah. And look, do you follow them on social media?
I don't.
Okay, let me show you this little clip. Tell me they ain't cute.
Through, left, right. Let me see you do it. Left, do it, right. Do it, 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 left, do it, left, do it.
And let me just say this. Tisha like to come for Miss Nell, but Miss Nell is body. Yada.
Yes. she said legs and hips and body.
Body. Listen. I don't think Tisha want to see a day with Miss Nell now or in the past.
Even Martell had to give us something after he tried to call her old. He said that, Fletcher with his pretty little wife. Don't nobody want to go to no 60-year-old party, but she pretty. Pacino says the children know that Nell will eventually cave in after she does her venting. Yes, because she loves them. And they know that
she's just blowing smoke.
Yes. But then she's trying to still have that heavy hand because she wants them to learn the hard lesson. Yes. That's what she said. She made the statement. She was fussing. She was and a lot of times I ain't gonna lie. She reminded me of my mama because that's how my mama was. But a lot of times when they get the yap, you turn your ears off. I ain't listening to that. Yeah. I remember one time. I always got a story time, but I'm gonna tell you something. That's what's good about these shows is that if it can make me relate to something in my life, it's being effective.
Yes,
it's being effective. But story time. I remember one time, this girlfriend from church went to Atlanta to my family's house in Atlanta with me, and my mama was upstairs and I was downstairs. And she was like, Valerie! And my friend was like, and I was used to it, but that's how she used to scream and yell and fuss. And I was used to it. I'm just like, yes, ma'am,
Right.
Oh my God, what's wrong with your mother? And she was from New Jersey too. So she had that thick accent. It's just like, girl, nothing. What's wrong with you?
You need me to come downstairs? I was raised in a loud household like that too. My mama has a real in your face tone, and not all the time she's in your face. It's just her tone.
That's just
my friends do the same thing. They hear her say something, they be like, she just talking. So I definitely get that. I was raised by Nell too.
And that's why I was so emotional. Oh, and it's about to bring tears again. I was so emotional in that moment listening to their discussion. I won't call it an argument because they were not arguing.
No, they weren't.
And Dr. Francis, God bless him. Because Dr. Francis, he tried his best not to have any emotional response to her outburst.
He was just letting it be. Letting it flow as it flew.
And look, I had to capture this one because he basically just laughed at her like, okay, so you don't listen to me either.
You ain't listening to the kids. You ain't listening to Chris. And you ain't listening to me. Okay, then. I see you there.
Prove what Lance said.
I don't want no problems. None. That's what everybody said around her.
Pacino says she loves them, but she doesn't allow them to learn hard lessons. Yes, Pacino, remember we talked about that too.
I think she started trying to teach them or started trying to let them experience the hard lessons too late.
So I will say this, because you know me, you know my son, you know I'm in that place, I'm in that crossroad right now. I don't think it's too late. I think the longer you wait, the harder the lesson's gonna be.
Okay.
I don't think it's too late. And to be honest with you, you know, my son is spoiled. And the only way that I was able to somewhat break that is to completely close my purse.
Okay.
Completely. I mean, the boy blew through 5 figures within a couple of months.
Jesus.
So no, you can't get nothing else from me. And you done wrecked 3 cars within 6 months. Oh no.
You're gonna put it on ice, son.
So for him to feel that and experience that and know that I got to get myself out of this rut. Yeah. Mama ain't gonna do it. So mama play broke all the time. I'm broke. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. And she this moment where she's saying I need to get out of that. That's what that needs to be her conversation. I feel if you have Pacino, you know any other options? Pacino said the Fletchers are good TV. Yes, they are. Yeah, and I can't believe so many content creators wanted to get them off the show. They did. I don't like Nell. I don't like Fletcher. He just God, we don't give nobody a chance.
No, and it's kind of sad. We don't want to see nobody on new. We don't want new people into shows that we've been watching, and they got to stop.
Yeah,
that flows over to the Housewives world. They want to give these women one chance, one season. We don't even know them yet. We didn't know the other women when we first started watching. We had to learn them over time. So why give these women one season and then poof, they've disappeared in the thin air?
Right. And then a good producer is going to get to the nitty-gritty because everybody got a story.
Everybody got a story. Whether they know it or not. It may take somebody to pull it out of you, but everybody got a story.
And I love the fact that my good friend Carlos is pulling these storylines out, baby. The people are upset, and I'm just gonna have to say I do have a bit of a frustration with some of the other content creators. I really do, because I feel that we are so dismissive that we don't understand the bigger picture. And the bigger picture for me is we don't have a whole lot of scripted shows with an all-black cast.
Yes.
When I was younger, we did. In the 80s, 90s, we did.
Yes.
But now we don't have them scripted shows, and we're left with reality TV.
Yes.
Now people will have their qualms about reality TV, that is trash TV, this and that and other. But then you have producers like Carlos who's bringing us real life situations and scenarios that will inspire conversation. Come on, culture conversations that could help even sway the view of the audience.
Yep.
It will help us even rethink how we have structured our societal norms. What's appropriate, what's inappropriate? What does right look like in our community? But instead of allowing the show to breathe and grow, and as Dr. Francis says, nurture it with love so that it can grow.
So it can grow.
We have a lot of content creators who are bashing in a way that I don't care for. All these lawsuits and stuff coming out against the cast and people trying to destroy these people's businesses and stuff like. I don't care for that. What is going on?
Yeah.
That is, to me, is crabs in the barrel mentality.
But I feel like that's what they want these days. They want it to be so dark. They want it to be so drama filled. They want it to be fights. They want it to be scandals. They want it to be, oh, I'm exposing him to such and such this season. I'm bringing this to the light. They want it to be that. It's just, that's not fun to watch.
No, and that's what's frustrating to me. Okay, what is the appetite of the audience? What are we doing? Why do you want that? Because for you to desire that means that that's what's in your spirit, that's what's in your soul. Because I ain't never desired a donut until I tasted it, and I felt how that glaze just went down so smoothly. And then every time that hot donuts now come on, yeah. Mm-hmm. So what are you feeding your soul for you to desire to see that type of behavior from these people? That's not what they wanted to present.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the bigger picture is, if we keep bashing our own these casts with our own people, we're not gonna see any cast of our own people. And then we'll be on the other side with on the picket line talking about representation matters. See, that's the come on, us, my people. Mm-hmm. Let's get it together. Pacino says it's almost like she's trying to raise them when they're very grown. Yes. And then did you notice that she mentioned when Dr. Francis told her to go down the line and say something nice about each and every one of her kids, she said to Lance, who was her first son, she said, we've been through it together. So basically, to me, I get gleaned from that I was raising you while I was still growing myself.
Still raising myself. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And she talks about how she's seen him grow and how much she loves him so much. So yes, Pacino, I think you are spot on with that. Pacino says, I like Nell. I would like to see some focus on Chris's role. Yes, we'll get into some things with Chris. Kevin says, Carlos King payroll, LOL. Look, I wouldn't be mad to be on it.
Cut me the check. I say that you need me to.
Because, baby, I got some stories. Kevin says, Kevin says a lot has to do with the fraudulence, AVS lies from the cast. What is AVS?
He meant and the lies from the cast.
And lies from the cast. Yeah. But is it fraudulence and lies? Because it seems to me they're showing their reality. Oh, okay, I see. Okay. It seems to me that they're showing their reality. I was up at Black this past weekend. I think Marcel is showing his reality. I think him and Tisha are showing their reality. We've seen all the drama and the fallout with Mel and Martell. I think they're showing their reality.
Yeah, they can't show nothing but their reality.
Of course, the Fletcher family, I think this is their reality.
I think so too.
So let me ask you this. Fletcher has a daughter that he had from a previous marriage too.
Yes, the one that don't like Nell and try to come for her every chance she get right.
Yes.
Yes.
So did you see the interview that she did with the other content creator giving you the real tea?
The one that she was saying Nell was a side piece and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it. I just was seeing the commentary from people that had watched it. It was what pretty much discussing what she had said in the interview or whatever.
Okay. So in that interview she did with Giving You the Real Tea, I'm shouting him out because I like him. He's a content creator that I like. I do. In that interview, she mentioned, her and her mother mentioned that she's been in counseling since she was 12 years old.
Okay.
And she stated a diagnosis that she has. And I would not like to see her a part of any additional reality TV because of the diagnosis that she stated.
What was the diagnosis?
I believe she said bipolar.
Bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I would not, that's not something that I want to see exacerbated on TV. And you know, we just lost one that probably didn't serve it, did being on this reality show did not serve her in her best interest.
Any good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would not want to explore that any further. Like, leave well enough alone, let them get some counseling behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's clear to me that they love that daughter, but they have some things to work out. Pacino says, agreed, this type of show is not the ideal venue. Right. And even though I do believe that Dr. Francis is wonderful and that he is perfect type of therapist for this family setting, I feel that these adult children can handle that.
Yeah, she wouldn't be. Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think so. There was an interview with Fletcher and one of Carlos King's friends. I think his name is Justin, but it's on Carlos's platform. And Fletcher says that he didn't even know that the daughter had been in counseling since she was 12. So that type of thing needs to be fleshed out behind the scenes. That's something real intimate. Dustin. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. It's Dustin, not Justin. Okay. Pacino, you own it tonight, girl. You are on it. She says that's another situation where Chris's actions need to be examined. So I feel that life, it works best in balance. That's why when God created the heavens and the earth, he created the heaven and the earth. He created light and dark. He had land and water. He had male and female. He had all this stuff in balance. And energy, the energy of our existence needs to be in balance. I feel that Nell is probably too far on the opposite end of the spectrum with always being aggressive. And Chris is too far on the opposite end, always being passive.
Passive, yeah.
And they need to meet somewhere in the middle to where this is my perspective. I'm no therapist, I'm no counselor, I'm no Dr. Francis. What do you think?
I actually would agree with that because it's not a balance with them, and Nell kind of shade him a lot with it too because she said, "Well, what Fletcher got to say about it? Because I know he not gonna say nothing to him. It's always gonna be me saying it to him." You know, that was her argument in the during the council session. She said he's always good cop, she always bad cop. So I feel like that it needs to be some type of medium ground with it. And as far as examining Chris' actions, what do you think Lexi would have to be involved in that too, though?
I wouldn't want to see that because that's too sensitive.
You think it'd be too triggering for him?
Yes. I think that it's something they definitely need to talk about. But I don't want to see it on TV. I just don't, because that young lady, she's so gorgeous. She's beautiful. And apparently she has several kids. He said in the interview that she might possibly be pregnant again. Yeah, we don't want to see the demise of someone mentally or physically.
I didn't like the scene where she was there
Right. I did not. I did not. And he said in that interview that he thought she was putting on. He didn't know.
about all the details and stuff. Yeah.
He didn't know about the possibility of her behavior going so far. That's the way.
But he said that when it hit the fan and before she drove off, he said that he was, I can't believe you out here doing all this and you telling all these lies and you acting all out like this. He was completely thrown off by her behavior. I'm guessing that was the first time she had displayed it for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't think that needs to be exploited on TV, especially now that we know that. And she said it out of her own mouth that she has a diagnosis. And I think her mom kind of prompted her, but she did say it out of her own mouth. Yes, Pacino says the situation with Lexi needs to be handled behind the scenes. Yes, and I hope that they do come to some type of common ground. There's too much about Lexi and Chris that Chris doesn't know. Right. All right. So that leads back, and we're gonna hurry up and get up off this because we got to get to Tricia and Marquise. But that leads back to what Marquise said about leaving the household and somebody else raising your kids. Now, in that interview, Lexi said she was raised by her mama's husband. And that's her daddy. So instead of us comparing Marquise to Martell, should we be comparing him to a Chris?
I don't want to give Chris that.
You know, I'm just saying.
I feel like Chris' issue is what we just said. He's too passive. And he probably was met with some type of restraint or some type of confrontation with Lexi's mom. Was that his ex-wife? He was married to her?
Ex-wife, but I'm going to put it back on the same measure.
No. I'm not making no excuse for him.
The barometer is the same for me.
Yeah, he bowed out.
Mm-hmm. You keep me away from my kid.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nobody. So is it the mama's fault? Or did he not try hard enough?
I think mothers have a fault in it.
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like any mother that's actively keeping the dad away is doing a disservice to the child at all times. And I feel like
she didn't say she was keeping him.
I'm speaking in general. I'm not speaking to them.
Okay. So, yeah. Let's get specific to Chris. We're comparing.
If that was the case, because I don't know what did she speak on what it was? She wasn't keeping him away. He just wasn't coming.
She did mention that he was in the military.
Okay, so he wasn't in the same city as them as often, right?
Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But she was not keeping her from him. She also mentioned that his situations with other women, including Nell, probably played a role in them being. And goes back to what Marcel said. Anything that you allow to come between you and your children is more important to you than your children. So Lexi might be right in the way she feels.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say she's right in how she feels because you feel how you feel.
Yeah, she might be justified. I should say that.
Justified, yes, for sure.
Let's see. Pacino says Lexi's mom is pretty. Yes, she is. Chris has a type. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And I ain't mad at her.
I need to go look this interview up.
Yes, you do. You do. I should have tagged it in here, but yeah, it's giving you the real tea. That's the channel name. Okay. His name is Terrence. Pacino says Martell is more forceful when it comes to his kids. Chris seems to be the type that avoids confrontation.
Yeah, my dad is a non-confrontational man, and a lot of my disappointments in him came from that too. So I understand that story. When a man is so laid back to the point they can't lean forward. Yeah. I feel like that's Chris. He's just so laid back. And that's how he handled Nell. He don't like confrontation. Mm-hmm. He's not a confrontational man. even in his approach to the other men when he has to check Martell from time to time, it still ain't rah rah rah. It's okay, man. Listen, you did this. I ain't like it. Nell ain't like it. This is why we gonna do it now. You know. So I can see that being a problem. But again, we ain't had not no excuses. So
I see. I love how these things come together when we get to see. Wait a minute, these characters. Oh, you displayed that characteristic too. Oh,
okay.
yeah. But okay, so let's move forward because this final scene, baby, heated.
Look at him. He look 18.
I got to get my other, and that's why I put both pictures up there because you had to see him clearly, and then look at him compared to how she was looking. Had me heated.
I see how you got Ken in the background. You ain't slick.
Let me tell you something, because clearly Ken is living rent free in this man's mind.
Oh yes.
He done talked about Mr. Muscles, and I need Ken to be living in Tricia's mind too. She is all over Ken's mind.
Mm-hmm.
She on his lips, she on his face. He's sniffing her in the mustache.
But those folks say Ken is smitten.
He is, and everybody knows it.
Mm-hmm.
But I want Tricia to put him on her mind like that too, because you about to lose your man, girl, and clearly you got a good man.
Especially with these new allegations, she need to squash them like a bug when it comes.
Yes.
The next episode when they bring it up, is she need to squash it.
Yes, and then that makes me want to see what the reunion gonna look like, because you know he gonna have to check Martell, like, dude, or even if they get to the reunion, it might happen before then. And Martell is intimidated by the muscle man too.
Yeah, that's why he didn't want to do that Lovers and Friend gala. He went out of shape. You can look at Martell and tell he went out of no shape to not take his shirt off. He was just intimidated. He didn't want to stand next to Ken. Probably Ken, he didn't want to stand next to them.
But yeah, I had to put the muscle man back there because he is on everybody's mind. But Trisha, get this together, girl. And smile at him and act like you like him. Because there's some fools in this house. There's some fools.
And they gonna take him.
Yes. He already said if it don't work out with you, baby, he is Bigelow Gigolo.
Yeah, outside. He said he not doing it again.
No. He said this is it. I ain't taking on nobody else's kids.
I ain't doing it. This is second time doing it, right? This is second round of kids.
Taking them all out the country.
That's his second round of kids. He said he's not doing it no more.
And none of them got his last name, girl.
And none of them is.
Oh, if you knew what was right for you, Trish, even if it ain't there, you will give the perception and until it becomes the reality.
And you need to go and give him one too. Pop it out. Hurry up.
Yes.
What's up? What the baby 10? That's a good day and a big gap. It's kind of big, but it ain't huge. Go ahead and pop one out.
I ain't messing up my body.
She can see a body that train gonna snap back.
Cause she got what?
Yeah.
That good.
It's gonna snap back. And you know, she ain't gonna sit there while she's pregnant. She gonna be in the gym up until 9 months. That body gonna snap back. She ain't gonna be number stomach.
Now, by the way, have you been watching Candace?
Yes, I've been keeping up with Candace. I have.
Candace be in the gym, baby.
Yes, Candace ain't number stomach. She ain't number the bump.
Yes. Pacino says Lexi may feel that Chris didn't fight hard enough to spend time with her, and that's what I believe. That's what I believe.
I also feel like, and I can't speak totally for her because I don't know their story, and maybe Nell was in the way of that. But I feel like if Nell had no problems with and had nothing to do with that, then Lexi should keep it on the playground with Chris. She shouldn't continue to attack Nell.
Right.
Now, Nell have no direct effect on her and her daddy's relationship.
Now, I'm inclined to believe that Nell probably didn't, because at the same time that they're saying that Nell came in and they got married, remember, Nell said Chris was cheating on her too.
Yes.
And they split up for like 14 or 16 months.
Yes, before they got it right. So I don't think she was in the way of nothing either.
Right.
So I don't think she needs to continue to attack Nell the way she does. She need to fix those issues with her dad.
Right.
And I can agree with that, but because like I said, that was one of my first disappointments with my dad. When I grew up and got the story, I don't feel like he fought hard enough to be present for me. And then I watched him not fight hard enough to be present for my other siblings either. So I can see that frustration. I can relate to Lexi on that level of frustration when it comes to your father. Mm-hmm. So I can definitely see that being true.
Right. So Kevin says, hence Martell with the bowling ball. Right, because he was intimidated by Ken. That's why he had to pick up that bowling ball before he asked, well, what did she say? Mm-hmm. That's in case Ken swung on him.
What you gonna swing that bowling ball there because you couldn't do that else with him? You couldn't handle him?
Yeah, he was intimidated. He was intimidated. Okay, so Trish meets up with the husband in the park in the gazebo at nighttime, which was interesting. Mm-hmm. Maybe he met with Marcel earlier that day. I don't know. But he comes dragging. Y'all know how I feel about posture. I've talked about it a couple of times. But he comes dragging with his hump in his back. Already I'm turned off. Like people were really out here saying how good this man looked. You know, I saw the picture. He ain't my type. Ken is more my type because I like chocolate too.
Mm-hmm.
And him. He's an attractive guy. He is handsome.
He is attractive, yeah.
But not my type. But when his presentation on the screen, what he had on, how he was postured, the hat turned to the back, I said, oh my God, no.
I think his posture and his demeanor was him trying to gain some sympathy.
Even with that though, oh my God, no.
Mm-hmm.
Because where is the grown man?
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you needed some sympathy, come with your back straight. I don't want you showing up Brokeback Mountain to a conversation with me.
What Tony said, just be a man about it. Just be a man about it.
Just be a man about it. He shows up bent all over, just... So I wanted to talk to you because I was feeling, oh my God, you didn't even ask me how I felt and you need to put your oh, do you know this had me?
Not to see because it sounds like they ain't seen each other in a while.
Yeah.
Good to see you. How you been?
Right.
How my kids?
How are the kids?
How are my kids?
Yes, Kevin. I gotta walk him down. Because that's the way he came. That's the energy that he came to the screen with. This your first time you're gonna be seen with your wife. First of all, your wife has already let us know that she hadn't talked to you in years.
Yeah. And
the last time you talked, it was contentious. So here you go showing up with this down, depressed, sloth energy. We already thinking bad because why your wife on here with another man?
Yeah.
And then
she's still very much your wife.
Yes. But then you show up with this sloth energy and gives us all the answers that we needed. You didn't even have to open your mouth. Just the energy that you presented was enough to say, okay, Tricia, you justified. From my perspective.
We see, girl. Uh-huh.
Yes. And then it made it no better for her to show up in that confessional looking like she looking on her, this goddess look. With that hair pulled up high. Yes, girl. Yes, girl. Got that body. Now let me say this. I love Nell, but Nell, I don't want to see you with no more cleavage out dresses. Them dresses that got all the plunged neckline. No, ma'am, stop it. I like it. You can push them up.
Yeah, put them up. Sit them up. Yeah.
But don't let that
put them out.
Yeah, don't do that. But Trish, that's the dress for Trish. So they put that in wardrobe, pass it on over to Trish. But girl, don't you put that on no more because it's aging you. And Nell, you too pretty. Okay, I've said it. I'm done. Pacino says, I guess Tricia has been in enough scenes to pay for the divorce paperwork. Well, let me tell you something. I feel like Tricia probably paid.
Yeah, they got a nice house.
Yeah,
The
and then
money
for her,
somewhere. But I don't know. They gave me an ick with him. The way he ended the conversation with, you gonna go half on the paperwork? I don't know. Somebody there just.
it's
No.
$400. You gonna go half? You left the family. You are the one that said you don't love me. You are the one that said you didn't want to be here. But you know what? At that point, that's what. Now I will say this about that conversation with him and Tricia. I love the fact that she never left her balanced, emotional, stable interaction with him.
Yes.
She didn't let her voice raise. Hello, husband. she didn't let her voice raise. She didn't get out of pocket at all. She stayed right there.
Because even when he pissed her off, she said, "Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure."
Yeah, I'm gonna let that slide because all I need is for you to sign this paperwork.
Or to be done. Yes, that's all. So I'm not gonna say nothing to you to prolong it. Let's get it done.
Yeah, he said we still got a divorce. She said, "Yeah, that's the ink that on the paper that needs to dry." I say, "Yes, Tricia, yes, eat him up in a subtle way." And that thing, maybe that's why he probably thought that was a jab when he asked her, "Oh, you gonna pay half of it?" Yeah, I got it. In fact, she said, Ken will pay for it.
Yeah, Ken to do that.
So she jabbed him right back.
Yeah.
In fact, since he's in your head rent free, let me just go ahead and slap him across your face.
Let Ken be the final step on us getting a divorce. Ken to pay for it. Yeah. I tell him I get home.
Right.
Cash App of Venmo. How you need
it. Pacino says, "Is that their house?" So somebody says that Ken moved into Tricia's house.
So that was Tricia's house.
Tricia's house.
Is that the house that her and Marquez had together?
Before, I don't know. Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. She said that she had been paying the way for her and the kids. So that's why I feel like Tricia got the money.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't hurting for no money. This extra check is just an extra check. Thank God it's a good extra check because they say Carlos, he does pretty good.
And if that is her house that she had before Ken, that just extra proof that she didn't need no help.
Exactly.
If he left and she was still able to keep the house afloat, she good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Kevin.
I'm not even gonna read it. You read it.
I don't want to read it either.
Kevin, I said walk him down. Don't tear him down.
Don't destroy him. My God. Kevin said they're looking like Sigmund, the sea monster with huge jugs. I just said that lady was body yada yada, Kevin.
Right, but you know, Kevin, run.
Kid may need to run. He may do need to run. I don't know. Jury's still out on that one. We're gonna see.
Say it again for the people in the back. She says, it's giving a little Airbnb to me, but I digress. That's what I thought too. Because when she pulled out them plastic from under the cabinets, when her sister was over there, and then she wrenched it off. I said, "Is this her house?" Because now I every time I pull something, and I know my house is clean, but every time I pull out silverware, I do rinse it off because being in the cabinet, dust.
That's the ancestors in this. I rinse everything out before I use.
Yes.
Forks, spoons, all that.
But I don't rinse off any plastic.
No, I ain't rinsing off. Because it's in the plastic. It should be inside the plastic already. I ain't rinsing that off.
So, when she did that, I was like, "Oh, this must not be her house."
She don't know who had touched that stuff. She had to range it.
And then she was doing it. You know these cameras are here because that episode she kept looking up at the camera. I felt like the cameraman was telling her to move the paper towels out of the way. So you are very aware of the cameras here. You're rinsing this stuff off. Kevin.
No, you went time out for the night. You just went entirely too hard.
But yeah, so her husband went too hard for me. And I will say this. I don't care what any man says. You have to respect a woman who stands on business.
Yes.
That no matter what, whether you come, whether you go, I'm going to take care of these kids.
Yes.
And in her case, I'm going to take care of myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not stopping my life just because you decided you didn't
want to go move. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what it seems his expectation was, that she was supposed to stop her life. And he even back to the conversation with him and Marcel, he tried to make it out to be, well, she's bitter because I left her, but I didn't leave the kids. No, sir. She ain't bitter. Mm-mm. She bent over for Ken.
Oh, you better say that. You better say that.
In fact, she ain't bitter. She bucking. Is you bucking? Mm-hmm. In fact, she ain't bitter. She riding that horse like,
yeah.
Say. She on that stallion because you saw the muscle man.
She ain't worried about you.
And not at all. Not at all. And stop allowing your ego to speak for you, sir. Take a beat.
Because a lot of the stuff he said was unnecessary, especially towards Ken.
Yes, Kevin. Okay, Kevin. Quiet as it's kept. It's a couple of conversations that I'm really, really good at. And I kind of want to do an after dark conversation. Because I'm really, really good at those.
Don't get her started, Kevin. She ain't lying.
Maybe I need to do those in the members only. Please join the membership.
That's a members only cover. That's a members only live. Yes, it is. That ain't for everybody. That ain't gonna be for everybody.
Yeah, he said, I see. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So join the membership. And we might get one. We might get one. Especially, this weekend, my birthday. Did I forget to tell y'all that it's my birthday in 2 days? Like day after tomorrow, it's my birthday. And then we're going to be on the beach, and I'm going to be real communioned up.
As you should.
Patreon is your friend. You know what? Kevin, you're trying to get me to tell some business over here. You can find me over there on OF too.
Oh!
I promise you ain't no communion in my cup tonight. Pacino says, pretty good episode based on the scenes I saw on YouTube. It was
a solid episode. Probably one of the best ones. It took them 11 episodes to do it, but it was probably one of the best ones of the season.
Yes. It was only 4 scenes in this episode. Now I missed my good girlfriend Stormy. I did.
She wasn't in this one at all, was it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pacino. Yes, Kevin. Yes. Alias.
She took you too fast, didn't she?
But yeah, so it was a great episode to me, and I honestly love the direction that we're going. I love the fact that, hey, whatever it took, if it took a warrant for his arrest for us to stop talking about Martell and Melody every season, thank God. Yes. I'm glad that that's no longer the focus.
Yes, God. Oh my God. I wasn't able to do it. I remember when they was announced that they was coming back this season, I was telling my coworker, Carrie, shout out to Carrie, I was telling her that if it was going to be Melanie and Martell part 8, I was gonna be done. I don't want to keep seeing it.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't because I went to that event.
Oh yeah.
And I knew what the the backstory was, but I really was appreciative that that's no longer the focus.
Yeah.
Let's move forward. Let's move the stories on. I'm very much so embracing the new characters that they have presented on the show. And to be honest with you, some of the older ones that need to go have had less scenes. Hello, Maurice and Kimmy.
Yeah, ain't they been scrubbing?
It's time to get the benediction.
And I feel like we ain't seen Kim and Maurice unless they were filming with somebody.
Exactly.
Right?
And I think maybe that's why she made that truce with Sunny last episode.
Because she needs some scenes with her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you know, I don't really. How do you feel about the Sunny and Moses situation?
I want them to go away.
I do too, and I hear what's going on within the audience. That people are starting to talk them up and hype them up because based on their dislike for Destiny.
For Destiny, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Destiny could go next season too. She didn't do what she did.
She didn't do what I thought she would. Not even what I thought she was going to do. She didn't do what she needed to do with this storyline, with this opportunity. She didn't do it at all. At all. Not even close to doing it. But see, but now that's just. I feel like that's just Destiny. That's just what she gives. She can't give nothing else.
Kevin says Maurice and Kimmy are like watching paint dry. Yes, they are at this point. And Destiny, I thought she was going to. That scene where her and Sunny had the confrontation and her and Moses when they had the confrontation, I thought that she was going to. But and she gave us something.
Yeah, a little bit.
But she blew it. The very next episode when she came on there making them candles, talking about girl, I can get him back if I wanted to. That pissed off. Go sit down somewhere.
Because you shouldn't be speaking like that because you should be disgusted.
Go sit down somewhere. Girl.
So yeah, we can wrap all three of them up in a nice bow and deliver them somewhere else. But I already see what's going on. They looking for a house in Huntsville. They trying to be season regulars next year. I don't want to see it.
I don't either. I don't want to see nothing she has to offer. Sunny is that type of girl that needs to be excommunicated. She ain't good for nobody. And if they allow her to come back on here as Kimmy's friend, she gonna betray Kimmy as well.
Yeah, she is. But I can't wait to see how Kimmy justified her forging a relationship with her. I can't wait to see how she because you know Kimmy real smart. She'll put some words on something.
She'll put some words on it. And Kimmy has tried to be Switzerland. And she's starting to tick me off with it. I have always enjoyed her. She's a beautiful lady, and I feel like she's an intelligent lady. But socially, I don't know if she's adept. Like, what are you really doing?
Yeah, because Mel ain't even trying to fool with the girl. And had she been the one trying to film with her and do all this with her, I still would have found it nasty, but I would have understood why, because she's not a fan of Destiny. But that's supposed to be your girl, you know.
So okay, I'm trying to wrap it up and get you on out of here. So my friend can go eat. But question. I've noticed also that Melody hasn't filmed many scenes this season.
Nuh-uh.
So do you think she's gonna come back?
I don't think Melody want to. I think she's trying to phase herself out. Honestly, I feel like she's tired. Which I feel like she's trying to cut all communications with Martell, all possible avenues to Martell, and I think the show is one of them.
So I will say, from my perspective, I don't know if she wants to phase herself out, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's stuff that's happening off camera. But I feel that it would be best for her if she did, because I feel like we saw Mel. I'm gonna tell you this honestly. I didn't see it because I don't follow her, but I heard the other content creators talking about it. Mel spazzing out on live, like every single day, talking about Wanda and Tisha and
Yes.
all her frustrations and this and that and other. Girl, you got too much business to do to spend so much time spazzing out on people who shouldn't matter to you. They should not matter to you. So to me, that tells me mental health should matter. Because why are you doing this? What is leading you to do this?
I don't know, friend. And Wanda fat tongue, illiterate ass was sitting online talking about me. I had to address her too.
But you can go to Wanda's house. And Wanda ain't even on the show, so I don't even think I would have to address her. To me, she ain't no different than the content creator that showed up at Stormy's place. She's just an antagonizer. At that point, you're not even on the show. So what you got to say about me is just an opinion. But then I don't think it's healthy for her to do that. I don't think it's mentally, emotionally healthy for her to do that. And I don't think it's healthy for her business for her to do that. Like, girl, these deals that you want to make, these people don't want this. I know controversy sells, but it sells out fast. That's like fast fashion. It only gonna go so far. You want a long lasting product, which leads me to this one, and I'm gonna get off here. I promise you, I am. It's rumored that Stormy might not come back.
Why?
Possibly because of her business. Her business is growing. She's trying to grow her family, and this might not be the best look for her. And this was discussed after that episode where they talked about the lady showing up at her business and her having to go to jail. And I think this was around the same time of Kiki's.
But maybe they need to scrub it clean and do a recast anyway.
I think that they have good characters already. Maybe introduce one more new one. I will say, just by my observance at Black, Marcel got a lot of interesting friends. He definitely has earned his position for next season for me. If nothing else, this scene alone,
yeah,
in this episode, earned him his position back. Now, Tisha, I think Tisha needs to film less. If she comes back, she don't need to be on everything.
She has. We ain't seen Tisha in a while.
And I think it's best. Because Tisha, to me, is starting to spiral, too.
We ain't seen Tisha since... When the last time we seen Tisha?
She was drinking heavily.
Yeah, that's the last time we seen her, right? When she had the fight with Marcel the next morning. Next day, whatever.
And she was in this episode with her husband introducing his project manager, who's real gorgeous and beautiful.
Hey, wasn't she beautiful?
And why? Because we ain't seen no projects that they have to introduce. I thought that was a red herring. I thought they would.
But see, I thought they was trying to slide the project manager, her husband, onto the show too. That's why I feel like they were trying to introduce her to us.
That would be nice, because I would like to see the what the Scotts brothers are building. Like, show us them actually building. Let's get back to their original concept.
Because we got so far away from the actual plot of the show. Yeah, the show is about love and marriage, but it also was about what they were doing in Huntsville.
Yeah.
Because the show is called Love and Marriage
Huntsville, right. Yeah. So Kevin says, fingers crossed, Destiny stays forever. It stays away for good. And Pacino says, we'll see. Kevin then says, why is Carlos facing Sonny and phasing Sonny and Moses on us by them buying a house in Huntsville? All the many cities in the United States, they want to settle in Huntsville. Thanks, no thanks. I think that was a Sonny production.
Yeah, we gotta understand. We gotta remember that was her job.
Mm-hmm. She is definitely producing Moses. Every
Yeah,
scene that we
this scene.
mm-hmm. Phasing in. Okay. Pacino says we'll see on Stormy also. Yeah, I want to see her back, but I could understand if she does go. Um, Kevin says just say Mel is not your cup of tea. It is okay. In addition, let's hope Stormy does not come back. So she's not my cup of tea. I think I've said that. She's a little bit too bitter for me. I can identify with pieces and parts of her story because I'm a woman who's been through it. But she wouldn't be a girlfriend that I hang out with. And then I feel like she's fake. Like, girl, calm down. You could not be my girlfriend. She could not. She could not. That's too much. And I am a girl who's extra, but not that kind of extra. I am. My name is Valerie, and sometimes I do too much. But not like that. So no, she's not my cup of tea. Out of the cast, Stormy would be the one that I would want to hang out with. And I kind of want to see what Tricia is up to. So, Pacino says, except for Martell, the core six hasn't been shown much. Right.
Right. And that's the one that need his scenes cut.
But I don't think so. I talked about this last week, Ashton. I think these are Martell's friends.
Not subscribed. Let's move on.
I do.
Not
if you watch the scenes that he's in, they really like him. And it appears to me that they like him more than they like his ex-wife. And that's why, you know, I don't feel like
who like him more?
The cast.
Oh, that's a whole. Don't get me started on that. We'll be on here all day, all 3 days.
Yeah, but I mean, just you got to think about the ensemble effect of the show.
That was always the case, though.
Right, because it appears
they never. That's why they never was able to stand up and hold him accountable for anything he's ever done. That's why she does give them her to kiss because they never had her back in anything. So yeah, they probably do like her more. But that's why I don't fault her for handling them the way she does. When the cameras go off, I'm not y'all friend. You're right. I am fake.
So
we are co-workers.
So it only seems fair that since these are his friends, he sticks with the ensemble.
That as soon as he gets his confession, that he trash him.
And if they phase him out, let them phase him out. Because I think Marceau is pretty much done with Martell. We hadn't seen them together anymore.
He is done with him. And I'm so proud of him for somebody finally doing it. Because Martell has been Martell. He's been doing what he's been doing.
So we've said before, oh, Ashton, we can keep on talking. Let's just go. We've said before that we thought that Marceau and Tricia has done some real good counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And that they've shown some growth. Do you think maybe that's why he is possibly phasing or pushing Martell away?
For sure. I feel like he's probably had some conversations in counseling where he feel like he just can't align himself with Martell no more.
That's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think the rest of the cast hangs out with Martell off camera. Well, I kind of know that they do. Yeah. Yeah. I got invited to something. They was like, "You want to meet Martell?" No, I'm good. I'm good. I'll watch him on TV. I kind of know that they do. Now, I don't know how often, and it could be just events, but they hang out. They do. Yeah. So, anywho, overall, it was a great episode. Overall, I think that this was a good review. I'm so happy to have my friend back over here. We'll get these schedules together
Get 'em back
somehow.
in sync.
Yeah. So I know that they said that this is midway through. The next couple of weeks are gonna be the first 2 weeks of August will be a little topsy-turvy for me. So I have to figure that out. But aside from that, I hope to see my friend back again soon if it works out in your schedule. And thank you, Pacino, Kevin. I am redeemed. Always happy to see y'all in the comment section. Please don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Share it with a friend. And if you so feel very giving this evening, definitely hit up that Cash App or our membership. Anywho, love you guys. Until we meet again, love God and love your families. Bye.
Yeah.